Joe Benjamin, now retired. We're sitting here in Kildeskovshallen, where you played your last game as a pro basketball player for Sisu. How is it to sit here on this day, the first day of the season, where you're not being able to play?
It feels weird in a sense because I've been doing this for almost my whole life. I'm 32 years old and I've been playing basketball for 26 years. So, and now it's all of a sudden I haven't touched a basketball since Coleman camp. So yeah, that's pretty much it's a weird sensation. I feel like I'm a little bit lost, but then again, I know it's the right decision for myself.
Why did you decide to stop your career this year?
Simple. It's time. I think that I had a lot on my plate at the time with school. I just got accepted to Roskilde University, and then I finally got my permission to stay. That I can live in Denmark for the rest of my life. And then I had a newborn child at the same time. Then I needed to make more money, so I need to make sure I have a stable economy coming in. So that was pretty much part of this decision. Said, okay, well, stop with basketball, focus on the future.
But I think you're not quietly done with basketball. I believe that you are in sort of a non-profit organization where you help a little bit too. So it's not quite over with the basketball.
No, not quite in that sense. I do help out against Slalom occasionally with basketball fund. It hasn't been anytime soon, but I've been helping him a lot with camps and helping developing little kids. It's been a lot. That's actually a lot of fun. So I actually enjoy that a lot.
Let's talk about a little bit about your career and how it all started. When did you first start playing basketball, and was basketball always your favorite sport?
When I started playing basketball was when I was 5 years old, and I can remember it distinctively because in the United States we don't have the lower baskets, so we only have the ones that's for everybody. It's a men's league and everything. So I remember the time when I had a little mini basketball and try to throw it under my legs and try to throw it up. So that was my first experience with the basketball. But no, it wasn't my first sport. Actually, my first sport was actually American football because my father, he played for 2 seasons with the New York Giants. So that was pretty much my first love.
And afterwards, you grew up and you decided to cross the Atlantic. How did you decide to take that big step?
It was kind of a fluke, actually, because once I graduated, I didn't want to play basketball anymore. Actually, I graduated from West Virginia University, State University, and then it was just bad timing because the crisis just happened. I got fired from my job, and then I said, well, okay. I talked to a couple of other people I knew, and then I found out one of my teammates, he was going to play in Iceland, and he had an agent, and the agent contacted me. And then all of a sudden I said, either you want to come to Romania or Denmark. And I said basically to him, which culture is more closer to American? And he said Denmark. So I came to play for Obi.
And from that day, you never came back to the States again. You stayed. How come? What is it about Denmark that have hold you here?
It's harder to explain. Some people always say that I was crazy to stay for so long, but I told a lot of people you're crazy to leave because the social structure for myself is past perfect for myself. I don't have to worry about paying for the university. I'm going to university now. I don't have to worry about paying for healthcare. I don't have to worry about paying for helping for my child. My child was born here, so it was actually a dream of mine to actually live in Europe since I was little, since all my family left. So now I'm just living out that dream.
Why has other Americans decided to leave and not stay? I believe you have been in contact with a few of them and know a lot of them who have played in Denmark.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of guys. A lot of guys I know that have played for Bach and that has played for other different teams. They're still playing, and they're actually living in other countries right now. I keep in contact with Jason Siggers and a couple others. We just we just want something different. So we're infatuated with the European culture. So it's a different lifestyle from being back home. But it's intriguing. I really do enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is it to be a foreign player in the Danish league? You have experienced a lot through the years.
Wow, it can be up and down. There's a lot of pros and cons.
Let's take them both.
Okay. It comes down to this: when you're playing professional basketball and you make a living for basketball, and other people are in charge of organizations, not interested in, or not only doing this part time because they have other endeavors for themselves or other jobs they have to do. It kind of puts you in the back burner because they don't think about you. Because when it comes down to, okay, you need to make money for yourself or you don't get paid in time or something, you're basically here on your own without anyone, so without any family and everything. So when you get kind of to the point where, okay, hey, I'm still here. Can I get some help here? Can I get help? Because a bunch of us guys who come straight out of college, where everything's basically, okay, you have this, everything's prepared for us. If it's not prepared for us, then either the coach is getting fired or we're moving on to the next place. And that's another thing where that's the bad side. But again, that's a cultural change. Some guys get used to it because you have to realize, oh yeah, you have to grow up. This is it's about being your own man, how to take care of your own self. So a lot of us, we can't get used to that. Not getting paid on time, that's another thing. We're used to having certain things prepared for us all the time. But the positive side, where it can be fans, it can be playing games, you can play the nightlife, champagne and campaigning, where, I mean, I can call myself now a sexual refugee because of I basically stayed again because I have a girlfriend and a baby here. So yeah.
The crossover, the Atlantic, your first club, OB. How was it to come to Denmark as a young guy?
Wow. When I first came to Denmark, it was back in 2007. I can still remember this day where I met the OP from OB and Per from OB. Those two guys, they came up to pick me up from the airport, and both of those guys didn't really speak that much. They can't speak English that well. And they basically picked me up from the airport in Aarhus and dropped me off at my apartment. He said, you have practice the next day, so you need to be here, and gave me a bunch of cash and said, here's your pay. And I said, oh, okay. And then they left. And I'm just like, oh, what am I supposed to do now? I don't know what to do. They said, yeah, will somebody help you get to practice the next day? And I was like, oh, okay. But it was pretty much an eye-opener because when you're walking around the States, you always see American flags everywhere. But when you're walking around in the streets of Åbyhøj, the mean streets of Åbyhøj, you see nothing but Danish flags everywhere. And I was like, oh, that's different. Those little subtle changes and just walking, that was a subtle change because they're used to driving everywhere. But that was pretty much in practicing in a school for elementary school. That was another thing to change instead of being in our own facility or in a stadium. So that was a big, definite change.
How did you overcome those feelings and those thoughts?
Just making best of the situation. I had some great guys on the team that I really liked, and I actually like Thomas Quill. He was a really good guy, and I still to this day he's still my guy. They told me just to basically learn how to adapt, just like I've been doing my whole life. Learn how to adapt to different situations. So yeah.
Your 2 years, you were in Oberhøj in 2 years, 2 seasons. How would you describe those 2 seasons?
Wow. We had 2 years of relegation games, so it was basically you can say it was a building phase for them again. My first year I was only an import. That was pretty much the lonely phase. Then the second year I had Chris Gillingham and Daniel Thomas. They came in and we actually hang out a lot. Then we had another Daniel that actually took us under his wing and showed us the city, to show us a really good side of Aarhus. And to this day, I still really appreciate that guy. I need to contact that guy again because he's actually been a really good guy. Yeah.
So it's easier in the second season when those guys came.
It was a lot easier with when I actually had some non-speaking Danes around, so it was actually really cool.
After those 2 seasons, you ended up in Virum in first division before coming back to the Basque Liga again and end up in Hørsholm. Why that step down to the first division in Virum and not taking it further in the Basque Liga that season?
Actually, I was sat down. I talked to a couple of clubs, and the one club I was talking to, I was in Aarhus. It was actually Bakken. I was going to actually go to Bakken that year. But I changed my mind last minute because I talked to Jesper Krohn, and Jesper Krohn saw me on Virum, and I wanted to move to Copenhagen. And he showed me the city, and I was happy about it. And there was this little small club, family club, and they basically made me feel like I was welcome and I was home. And they still, to this day, I still feel that I have a little piece of my heart still left in Virum.
And then Hørsholm.
Oh yeah, then it was Hørsholm because again Jesper Krohn, he switched jobs. He went over to Oberhøj, and I had a great time with Milan Skopak. I learned a lot. I actually learned how to really, after a couple of years, you can say I really learned how to play with him. He showed me how to structure the game, how the game was actually an orchestra. If you do a certain thing here and a certain thing there, and actually things will fit in. Somebody do something like this, you can always counter with that. So, and spending a lot of mornings with him working out, he actually helped develop and blossom my game more.
He seemed tough from the outside if you looked at him from the games, but how was he as a coach and as a person?
I spent a lot of time with him. I actually went over his house a lot. Seemed like he's nuts, but he's not. He was really passionate about what he wanted to do. He actually really cared about us. We was a very young team, and he wanted the best from us. And he could find ways for the best for some players and not the best for some other. But no, he was a really big man with a heart of gold. So it was really good.
Was that connection between you guys maybe the reason why you had one of your best seasons in the Liga with Hørsholm that year?
Yeah, it could have been that connection. It was, I can say that he actually helped. Okay, that actually started in Virum because of building confidence up in the first division. Then when I came to Hørsholm, actually I kept on with that, and he actually kept on pulling and nurturing that development. And then on top of that, I had some really good teammates that actually believed in me. So there was more of, okay, if someone believes in you and you're actually going to take advantage of that situation. So that actually, and put in a lot of work during the summer. So yeah, actually I can say that was actually my best year because of Milan and the rest of those guys. Yeah.
And the year after that, then you came to Team Fugl Næstved. A difficult year for you, a difficult year for the team. And I have the impression that you didn't quite got the role that you wanted on the team, and you had high expectations.
Yeah.
Is it right?
Yeah, you can say that. I came there after a great season with Torsam, and then I expected it to be another building year where we'd probably go for the championship. And they brought in a lot of pieces in, and I was like, oh, great, this is going to be a great team. We might take the championship. Then I got the role of, okay, just be the support guy, and where I'm not the guy that actually question my role. Never have been, never will be. I always would say that, okay, what I need to do, I'll do it, no matter what. And I'll take a little seat back to the younger players that came in from the States, and actually helped those guys. At that time, I already been here for 5 years. So mainly think of, okay, helping those guys move on. And that's what, it was tough at first. Then I accepted it. Then I got pretty much, like I said, I got punished for it at the end because I waited for to come back. Actually, I wanted to come back from the team for Nashville. And when I got the news that I wasn't wanted anymore, it pretty much sting. But then again, motivated me again.
But you came back with two good seasons for Sisu the next couple of years, or the 2 next years. You agree?
I think I can agree. I had a great supporting cast. Had Mickey Dennis on my ear every day. He would not let me rest. He would always push me to be the best. Why would he come to practice and he'd tell me, why are you being so lazy today? No, don't do this. And I really, to this day, he's like a brother to me, an older brother to me, with less hair. So, no, he was in my ear a lot and actually helped me develop a little bit more. Even Coach, for CISO, he was actually did a really good job talking to me, making sure he's like he was like Milan, where he was very passionate, but again he had a heart of gold. He actually really cared about you. If you get hurt, he cared about you. He'll call you if you're sick, and that's what I really enjoy.
Now we're talking about Mickey Dennis. Do you think he's the same coach as you're talking about him right now?
Yeah, Mickey Dennis is, I guarantee he's probably the same as a coach where he was as a player, because he was a coach on the court.
Yeah.
He would tell us, we need to do this. Yeah. Take advantage of the situation right here. Look for this little small details. Play hard defense. He was a deadly shooter. He was very crafty, very sneaky. I always said that he had glue on his hands every time, because if you play defense on, he always maybe get a little finger on the ball and they'll take it from you. Yeah, him and Amir, both those guys helped me out a lot.
Talking about all these coaches, who do you think is the best coach you have, or who do you think is the best coach you've been trained under? Do you dare putting a name on him, or?
Actually, I enjoy all my coaches. They all gave me little different things. I learned different things from all of them. So that was the plus side for everything. So I would never say which one I like over them all. But then again, they know who they are, and then again, they know who actually cared about me. So yeah.
And after the 2 seasons in Sisu, the Rana saga came.
Oh wow.
Your hopes was really up for that season, I believe. Or I know.
Yeah, I was pretty much devastated when I had to leave. Rana's, actually, when we started the whole team, the process, it was great. I was really happy when I was finding that a lot of guys I enjoyed hanging out with were actually joining the team. And then when I found out, I actually played with my good friend, Bo and Bonel Colas and Hanan Coleman, and then I found out Chris Nielsen. He was actually a pretty cool guy, and he's pretty much nerdy Star Wars kid like me, and Charlie Burgess, and Jamar Thorpe, and all those guys. It was a great time, and then it was just went all down into the toilet, where I always wanted to come here, and I always want to win a championship, no matter what. I won a championship almost every level. And when I came here, I've been here for so long that I still haven't had a medal, and that bothered me. It's still to this day, it still bothers me. And me sacrificing my summer, not going home over a couple summers, actually, because I wanted to work out, because I want to actually say I'll be prepared for the next season, get ready for my role. And then just, man, it was, I feel like that one just got away from us. I really feel really disappointed about that still. We could actually made something happen around us. We actually brought that championship to that small town. Yeah, that would have been great, man.
Is that the same feeling the other players have?
We all stayed in contact. We all said the same thing. We actually talked to each other. They said, man, that should have happened. That really should have happened. We should have actually won that. Because we all wanted that. The only reason why this Rana stayed together so long, because with the problems of that, is because we actually enjoyed being around one another. Mm-hmm. So we had really good team chemistry, and you saw it a couple of times. So at the first couple of games, we lost because we were trying to figure it out. And then once it happened, it clicked. Oh, okay, this is fun. Let's go. We know what to do. Guys coming to practice. Practice was war. People getting dunked on. People getting hacked. People getting elbowed. And small bruises everywhere. And it's just like, okay, this is fun. I really enjoyed that time I was in Runners.
It actually sounds like you had the most fun in the Ranas, even though it ended like it did.
Yeah, I can say that. And with the way it ended, it shouldn't have ended. But still to this day, I still keep in contact with some of those guys, and I'm just like, man, if only it did happen. Yeah, if only it did happen.
Yeah, I can only agree. And then your last season in Sisu, was that the right club for you to end your career and the right time and everything?
Well, Sisu was, this is my neighborhood. This is my home. I live in this neighborhood. It was unfortunate I had to end the game against Aalborg, but I can't help injuries. It sucked, and then I was basically getting prepared again for the season again. So it was really sucked the way it happened to end on the injury. But then again, I got to end begin my new thing was coaching career. That was actually fun for me as well.
Over the past years, you had some offers from abroad. Would you say that the culture was the thing that holds you back to take the leap and try yourself out in some of the other clubs in Europe?
You could say that. It could have been culture. It could have been where I had people here that actually were dependent on me. So I could have left. I actually still have a couple contacts with a couple clubs in Sweden that actually really were doing everything to help me move and my family move up there, which was very, very stable. But then again, it was only a couple years. So after a couple years of basketball, what do I have? What do I have after that? I want to make sure I have something stable, something for my future. When I turn 38, what do I have for myself? So I want to make sure I have a future here.
9 years in Denmark, but what is by far the best memory from your career? It's a tough one.
Oh wow, that is a very tough one. 9 years. I can say it can be a combination of things. It wasn't playing in Virum, it was coaching the young guys. A lot of those young guys now, they're going off to college now. I have guys that were graduating this year, and I had a guy going to the Ivy League. I have another guy that's getting prospect, he might be an NBA player. I have another guy that's a prospect, he actually going to Old Dominion. It's just seeing my fruits of the labor actually go into another thing. seeing people that I knew, they're now fathers as well. So that was, I can say, that's a really tough question to ask. I believe my fondest moment was probably, I can say, when we beat Svendborg in the cup semifinals, where we just stuck together and we tried to actually get to the championship, and we actually did. So by a group of guys that actually care about one another. Yeah. So that was really fun for me. Yeah.
I actually only have one more question left, but efter 9 år i Danmark, så burde du jo kunne snakke dansk, og det kan du jo sådan set også, er jeg rimelig sikker på. Så skal vi tage det på dansk, eller hvad synes du?
Jeg synes, vi kan gå til det på dansk.
Skal vi tage det på dansk?
Det kan det faktisk.
Okay. Nu snakker du jo selv om, at du har trænet en masse drenge og gutter rundt omkring, og det har jo ikke kun været i Virum, det har også været i Åbyhøj, det har også været i Hørsholm, det har også været i Næstved, mener jeg det var. Det har sådan set været lidt over det hele. Ser du dig selv i en trænerrolle en eller anden dag og tilbage i basketligaen?
Anything's possible. Jo, men måske. Det er en kæmpe stor mulighed for mig at komme tilbage til ikke spille basket, men være en træner. Jeg har lært meget af en god, dygtig træner, ligesom Jeff Gatteller og Milan Skovbak, Zed Armer, Mickey Dennis, Jasper Krohn, Thomas Krøde. Så det er en kæmpe stor basketballhjerne heroppe. Så jeg tror nok, at det kan være muligheden, at jeg kan komme tilbage.
Du tør ikke love en dato eller år?
Nej. Det skal bare se. Vi skal være vende og se. Det skal gøre. Vende og se.
Alt i sin tid.
Ja.
Joe Benjamin, thank you so much for your time. We wish you all the luck and all the best with your life, both for you and your family. And I hope that many other American players will fall in love and stay in Denmark like you did. So thank you really much.
Selv tak.